We did place the school on temporary lockdown because we didn't know exactly what we were dealing with. Once we were here and was able to clear the scene and deemed that there was no further threat to the public, we were able to release that lockdown and they went on about their day.
There are a lot of rumors going on social media right now, and it seems tensions might be high within this community. Is there anything that you can say to people right now?
We can use everybody's prayers, send prayers to the family that they get through this difficult time.
And from rural to Russell to now Letcher County, what is these past couple of weeks been like for the state police?
Very busy. It's been very busy, but that's what we're here to do. We're going to carry out and do our jobs in the way we need to.
Do you know how much longer you guys might be out here?
We should be able to clear the scene within the next 30 minutes.
Any idea what's next for the sheriff? I mean, what does this community do without a sheriff?
That will be handled by somebody else in the days coming. But as of right now, we'll continue to carry out our investigation.
From my understanding, this is the first time something like this has happened in this area. Can you confirm?
As far as I'm aware, I don't know of anything of this magnitude.
And then I'm talking just with people in this area. Can you provide us, what are they saying to you? Are they angry? Are they sad?
As of right now, I've not had a chance to speak to very many people. It's been a very hectic and busy day. But this community is small in nature, and we're all shook.
And what are the next steps? Just, I'm guessing, send it for autopsy report?
That's correct. There'll be an autopsy conducted in the days coming, and just following up on all the leads and make sure we conduct a thorough investigation.
Was it the sheriff's service pistol?
That I do not know.
Do you anticipate those people who were present will help with the investigation?
I foresee so.
And you know when the deputy was lifted as a deputy here?
I'm sorry?
The sheriff, do you know when he was appointed to sheriff?
He has, I think, spent 2 terms, so going on around 8 years.
To make sure it wasn't anyone else injured.
There was no other injuries reported.
And where was he transported?
To a correctional facility.
Correct. No specific location?
At this time, we're not going to release that information.
When something like this happens, the community obviously responds. Do you have any words of encouragement to them in the days to come?
We got to stick together and get through it one day at a time.
You mentioned an argument leading up to that. Do you have any information on details on what that
The details I do not have at this time. We know that it was an argument between the two that led up, but what exactly transpired prior to the shots being fired, still things that we're trying to get answers to.
How long had Judge Mullins been in his position?
That I'm not sure. I don't have that readily available.
And is the body still inside?
No, it has been removed at this time.
Who appoints the sheriff? Like, who appoints? Who's going to be done?
So as far as the process that's going to take place in the days, I'd let somebody else comment on that, and they would probably be better suited to answer that question for you.
Anything else you can ask?
This time, no.
Do you know when the sheriff will have appointed periods?
I do not. That will probably not be scheduled until a later date.
And do you know if the body will be sent to Frankfurt?
To the medical examiner's office, that's correct.
Is the courthouse going to be shut down for any amount of time?
I have not been briefed on that. That is something that those officials will have to work through and decide what's best for not only the community, but the officials that work inside that building as well.
What can you tell us about the scene? Is it very gruesome?
As of right now, we don't have any of that information to share.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Out there in Letcher County, Kentucky, Letcher County Sheriff Mickey Stines has been arrested for the murder of District Judge Kevin Mullins. Again, that press conference just confirming what local reports there have been saying for a few hours now, but a lot of those details just coming to light officially in the last moments. You saw them unfolding live here. Again, to recap, officials now saying that there was some sort of argument inside of the judge's courtroom, in the judge's chambers, and that the sheriff allegedly pulled out a gun and shot and killed allegedly the judge there in front of other witnesses. We're joined here by Sam Brock, who's been monitoring some of these developments as we're watching them here. Sam, we were both looking into this before the show started, not knowing if these were true because they seem so bizarre. But what did you take from what we just heard?
Yeah, it sounds outlandish, certainly. I mean, this is such a rare thing to see government officials and members of law enforcement involved in acts of violence like this. It is inherently gaudy stunning. What I took away from it, among other things, is the fact that this didn't seem to be a spur-of-the-moment, spontaneous action based on what we just heard from the Kentucky State Police trooper there, but in fact that there was some sort of buildup that occurred before the violence. And now, of course, Sheriff Stines is in custody. I'm also seeing it appears that he was set to offer some sort of a deposition related to a 2022 lawsuit that did involve one of his sheriff's deputies being accused of something very untoward that may have occurred, according to that lawsuit, in Mullins' chambers. No idea. It is completely speculative to say if these things might be related or not. Simply that it doesn't seem like there is a wealth of information that's out there right now that would have necessarily connected the judge, in this case, Kevin Mullins, to Mickey Stines, the sheriff, and what might have been a motivation for this act of violence. Again, the state trooper himself said he didn't want to speculate and didn't offer any possible explanations for motives. We just know that you have a 54-year-old man right now who lost his life, and presumably his family is in deep levels of grief. And this is just something that should never happen. And I'm wondering whether or not there was a lot of questions initially as to how someone could have obtained access to a weapon and get it into a courthouse to shoot a judge in his chambers. And this, of course, sort of ties the bow on that it's a member of law enforcement who obviously had a firearm. So we're all sort of processing this right now. And you did also hear the state trooper say that they had put the local high school in lockdown for a period of time. There were actually reports, Gotti, of an active shooting downtown. And then the state police coming out and saying later, don't worry, to parents in the community, your kids are safe. This was an isolated incident. And in fact, it was an isolated incident. And now, obviously, this county here, Letcher County and Whitesburg, which is a couple hours away from Louisville and from Lexington, is grieving and trying to put the pieces together as to how something like this could have happened.
Yeah, not just a member of law enforcement, the top officer in law enforcement in that county now arrested for murder of a judge in his chambers. That's what the state trooper there is saying. Also, the state trooper saying that right now they are asking for prayers as they process all of that. From what we understand, that courthouse there, obviously it is a very active scene, but did they say anything about whether or not that court is going to be open in the coming days?
Yeah, I didn't catch anything about that, and it might have been addressed during that press conference. I didn't catch it if it was. One would think it'd be pretty hard to imagine that they would be resuming business as usual tomorrow as the investigation continues. As of earlier today, you had the coroner on scene and Kentucky State Police collecting evidence. So I don't know how long that process is going to go on for, but as we can see right now, Gotti, as you've articulated, there's crime scene tape around the Letcher County Courthouse. You have a heavy police presence. It would be hard to envision a circumstance in which there was just court as normal tomorrow, as so many folks right now are just trying to wrap their heads around how something like this is possible.
Nothing is going to be normal in that community for quite some time. Sam Brock, thank you so much for helping us monitor these developments. Thanks again,
Scotty. Thank you.
Here goes the ambulance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They didn't even open their doors. So they gotta be putting it in the corner.
There's usually does Pete. That's your friend.
Ooh.
On the scooter.
So we can go over there.
A little darker than I anticipated. Don't look at me, pretend the camera's not even there. I don't know if that's better or worse for you, but you could say and spell your first and last name.
My name is Shannon Hale. It's SHANNONHALE.
And you're from the community?
Yeah, I live here.
How long have you lived here?
I've lived here 7 years.
Talk to me about hearing what happened here tonight.
Well, I heard it at about 3 o'clock on my way to get my son from school, and I guess that's about the time that it happened. And I didn't have service over in Neon where I pick up my son, and I just kind of rushed around to get service to try to find out if it was true. And then I rushed to my girlfriend's. Well, actually, she rushed. I got a hold of my girlfriend, and then she came and got me, and then we come down here. And it was true. It was true. Judge Mullins is gone.
Did you ever expect anything like this to happen in this community?
No, we were all real close. I worked here for about a little over 2 years. I just about 8 months ago, I moved to Michigan, moved back for a short period of time, and I moved back here. But we're all like family, and Mickey Stines, I mean, we all sit around together and drink coffee in the mornings, and like, I mean, Judge Mullins, Mickey Stines, we smoke cigarettes and laugh and read the paper, and before he gets ready for court, I clean. That's what I did. And so I would clean the offices, and I'd sit down with them and drink coffee, and I would never have thought something like this would ever happen.
With so much gun violence all around the nation right now, how does it make you feel to see this kind of thing happening here, where you have children?
Well, with the gun violence, obviously this couldn't have been prevented because it was obviously a police officer that did it. But, you know, we do not have metal detectors in our courthouse or our high school. Just the other day I had posted on Facebook that I want to go to the school board meeting and talk about getting metal detectors because of what happened with all the school shootings lately, and get metal detectors put in, or how we can get metal detectors put into our high schools and our middle schools around here because they're so expensive, how we can get that, or how that can happen. But I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy. I don't even know really.
Would you have a message to the family of the judge that goes through this morning?
A message to them is just, I mean, I pray for them, for their strength, because this is a hard one. He was a great person. He helped many people. in recovery get their lives back, get back on track, get their children back. He cared about people that were on drugs. He cared about recovery. He cared about people. And I mean, we lost a really good judge that cared about our community. That really, this community at one point was really down. I don't know how to explain it, but was really drug addicted. And him, Judge Mullins and Judge Crafts, with their, drug court and their Senate 90 bill. And they put that together, and that helped people in recovery, or that were people that were drug addicts, and they helped them get clean and get their lives back, and and it helped bring people back to life, basically. So I mean, we lost a really good judge. So for the family, I mean, I'm so sorry, and I just pray for them, for their strength.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.